This is Terry Kurtz online reporting on Victor Valley, High Desert, and Mojave River Valley events, activities, entertainment, and history. Updating our crime fighters files, beginning with Operation Consequences. Adelanto was among communities targeted in the most recent Consequences series of sweeps. Investigators from the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department Gangs Narcotics Division, along with deputies from patrol stations and personnel from partnering agencies, served 9 search warrants and contacted suspects throughout the county. Over this one-week period, investigators contacted gang members and people prohibited from possessing firearms. Investigators made 12 felony arrests and 4 misdemeanor arrests during the operational period. During their investigations, 7 firearms were seized, 2 of which were ghost guns. Those numbers bring to 96 felons taken into custody and a total of 74 firearms confiscated since the first of the year. Additionally, the San Bernardino Movement Against Street Hoodlums, SMASH Street Enforcement Team, conducted proactive patrols in San Bernardino and surrounding jurisdictions. Operation Reclaim and Rebuild rescues victims of sexual slavery and human trafficking. In their latest operation, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department investigators made 44 arrests throughout San Bernardino County for solicitation of prostitution and pimping and pampering. Services and resources were provided to 10 rescued victims. The operation targeted online and street prostitution. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department's goal in this operation is to not only arrest individuals involved in the solicitation, but to identify victims and provide those victims with resources. Just last week, a sweeping operation by the Riverside County Sheriff's Office Anti-Human Trafficking Task Force led to the rescue of dozens of missing children between the ages of 14 and 17 in Southern California and neighboring states. That Operation Safe Return identified 50 children who had been missing from 1 to 24 months and conducted extensive investigations into the whereabouts of each child. These operations, Operation Reclaim and Rebuild and Operation Safe Return, are multi-agency, statewide initiatives that focus on rescuing victims of sexual slavery and human trafficking, identifying and arresting their captors, and disrupting demand for sex trafficked victims. San Bernardino County's Community Service and Reentry Division's Homeless Outreach Proactive Enforcement Team conducted Operation Shelter Me in the city of Hesperia recently. This operation aimed to connect staff with unhoused residents, offering them housing, medical, and mental health treatment services while addressing community safety concerns. During this operation, the HOPE team focused on individuals with significant mental illnesses to link them with restorative mental health pathways. In the Hesperia operation, 54 individuals currently experiencing homelessness were contacted. 10 individuals accepted referral information to assistance programs. 11 arrests were made. 6 individuals were arrested for their in-county misdemeanor warrants. 3 were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. 1 arrest was made for possession of fentanyl, and 1 individual was arrested for being under the influence of a controlled substance. In November of 2024, California voters passed Proposition 36, titled the Homelessness, Drug Addiction, and Theft Reduction Act. This measure reforms multiple laws which have been responsible for increasing homelessness, drug addiction, and theft. Several new penal and health and safety code provisions have been enacted. These latest charges can carry enhanced sentencing and prevent offenders from being cited and released before their court appearance.
Senior homelessness is growing at an extremely rapid rate. Statewide,
35%
of unsheltered individuals are 50 or older. Nearly 1,300 adults age 55 and older interacted with the county's homeless response system. San Bernardino and Victorville are the cities with the highest numbers of homeless.
While San Bernardino's number of homeless represents an 8% increase from 2024, in Victorville, that number has been reduced by a drastic 27% compared to 2024 statistics showing 611 unhoused residents.
Today, renters need to earn about $36 per hour to pay the rent that averages just under $1,900 a month. This cost is well beyond the reach of hundreds of local seniors who have been forced to join the ranks of the homeless. Their families are often not even aware that their parent or parents are homeless because the elderly do not want to become a burden to their children. Representatives of the San Bernardino County Community Revitalization Department met with stakeholders recently. Community Revitalization is a reworked department that puts community development and housing and the Office of Homeless Services under its umbrella. By combining those two departments, the goal is to create the structure for the county to receive federal and state funding and get it right back out in the community. The department deploys between $50 million and $100 million annually under the Community Revitalization umbrella. During the 2022-2023 fiscal year, they awarded over $18 million in contracts to Continuum of Care agencies and implemented a $1.7 million Encampment Resolution Fund grant to address large-scale homeless encampments, which included the Mojave Riverbed. The department's goals include housing the most at-risk community members and increasing shelter capacity. During the last fiscal year, they served over 2,500 homeless individuals with the Emergency Solutions Grant. They're trying to develop a pathway to get folks off the streets and into housing on the same day. In 2022, the city of Victorville began building the largest homeless shelter in the high desert after receiving a $28 million state Home Key grant. Victorville was the first city in the state to receive funding from the program to expand housing for the unsheltered. The Wellness Center campus near Evadale Park
has 170 beds
in modular housing units and a recuperative care center, medical clinic, and support services such as job placement and housing assistance.
The Victorville Wellness Center has helped over 200 individuals graduate into permanent housing since its opening in December of 2023. The City of Victorville's first ever permanent animal care and adoption center is expanding, and in the process it is assuring everyone the facility will not euthanize animals. According to the code enforcement official, the adoption center does not have the ability to turn away pets. The city has to process all animals, unlike private rescues. The new shelter will only euthanize if an animal is critically injured and suffering. The Animal Care Center opened in December at the site of the former Goodwill High School campus in Old Town Victorville. The 15,000-square-foot facility houses and cares for animals, serves community members, provides pet adoption services, and hosts education fairs and vaccine, microchip, and licensing events. The city is actively expanding from 35 kennels to roughly 135 canine kennels and 20 feline kennels. In addition, 2 larger metal buildings are under construction that will hold 100 to 106 more kennels each. The San Bernardino County Fire Station 305 has launched its Large Animal Rescue Team as part of the Urban Search and Rescue Unit.
The Hesperia Station's large animal rescue trailer is equipped with a variety of harnesses, ropes, and flotation devices designed to rescue horses or cattle that may fall into the aqueduct, river, or down a ravine. A 400-pound realistic horse prop used for training can be manipulated at its joints for a variety of rescue scenarios. The large animal rescue team traveled to Muscoy, where they rescued 17 large animals stuck in deep mud, along with 30 medium-sized animals.
TKOL is brought to you by We Got 'em Tees, your headquarters for custom screen printing and mastercraft embroidery design. Bid fast and last, world-class auctioneers.
Valu Quality Truck Bodies, family owned and operated locally since 1954.
The Bradco Companies, our area's longest-standing full-service commercial brokerage firm. Iwanzak Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems.
Down Home Grill, 760-241-4663 for delivery, drive-through, pickup, or to order ahead for dine-in. And by the Holiday Inn in Victorville, conference and convention center for the high desert, and favored destination for travelers and visitors to the Victor Valley.
What all does this competition entail or involve, Sandy?
It's through CASTO, the California Organization or Association of School Bus Transportation Officials. It's for the drivers that we depend on the mechanics so much, and the mechanics keep the buses safe on the roads, and it's a competition where they inspect the buses, they do the undercarriage, the interior, the exterior. There's a technician part of it where they're identifying or problem solving subjects that have come up or issues that have come up. So,
have you had a contestant, someone from the Apple Valley School District compete in this for as long as you've been here?
No, I've been here since 1988, and Mike is our first time attendee.
Oh, first time's a charm.
Yeah,
Send him to Las Vegas, huh?
Right.
Tell us then what's coming up in November.
In November, we're going to be attending the NAPT, which is National Association of Pupil Transportation. They're doing the international competition for Mechanics Best. It's the international best competition. And Mike will be competing against competitors from all over the United States and as far away as Canada.
Okay. Tell me how many vehicles is Mike and the 4 other mechanics, how many vehicles are in operation within the district?
We have 67 school buses in our yellow fleet, and between the school buses and the white fleet, it's between 200 and 300 vehicles that they maintain.
Well, congratulations on round 1 success, which was really a big round, and then continued success as you get on to Kansas City in November.
Very exciting, very exciting.
Good, thank you. Were you surprised at your success first time out of the block, or did you feel pretty well prepared going in?
I felt prepared. Still, there's an element of not knowing how the competition's going to go. Getting through it, though, I was really confident, but I didn't want to set myself up for failure and think I'd won it. So I kind of mentally was preparing myself for a 2nd or 3rd place finish and was ecstatic when I was announced the winner.
2 aspects, written work and then the performance. What were the type of questions in the written work?
The written test was an ASC formatted test, meaning that a lot of the questions ask you technician A says this, technician B says this, and you need to answer which technician is correct, or if either or both are correct. And a lot of the questions are based on that format.
And then in terms of the performance, would you have to change the oil? I mean,
you're actually in a timed competition where it's broke down into 3 sections. There's an interior inspection, which is 15 minutes. You have an exterior and engine compartment section, which is 15 minutes. And then you have undercarriage, tire, and wheel, which is 15 minutes. And in the 15 minutes, you go through with the judge and find as many defects as possible.
How many contestants do you know were up there at Tahoe altogether for the state competition?
Altogether, nine in my competition.
Wow, okay. So, I mean, it was time consuming with all of them going through each.
It was. You were issued a time window where you had to be there to go through, and it was broke up into the 3 sections, obviously.
In the performance aspect, was there any one part of it that was the most challenging, the most difficult?
You know, all 3 of them were equally challenging because of the time factor. These were older buses that have been in service, so there was several defects. And one of the sections is used as a tiebreaker if you were to tie on points with another competitor. And the way that works is the faster you get done, it goes for your score. So on the one section I knew was going to be the tiebreaker, I tried to rush through, and I kind of probably found a few more things, but I wanted to save some time in the bank.
Yeah, to me it's mindful of the old Mission Impossible TV series or movie series. Now, you know, not only do you have to solve it, but there's a time factor too.
It definitely adds an element.
It puts a lot of pressure on you. Now, and I'll ask you, what's next? What's coming up?
We got the national event in Kansas City, which will be in November. I'm really looking forward to that. And after speaking with the competitor from California last year that went to the national event, on this level, most of the competitors are state inspectors from across the country where they get paid to do it for a living. So it's definitely a little intimidating, but we're studying, and I think we're going to be well prepared.
So do you have homework to do before?
Tons.
Oh, really?
Tons. You know, this competition I was a little more prepared for because being in California, the laws were going to be specific to California school buses. Now, on the federal level, California incorporates a lot of laws that don't apply federally, or they go above and beyond. So now I'm going through the federal handbook and studying this up so I can be on an even board with everybody else across the country.
Mike, how long have you been a mechanic with the Apple Valley Unified School District?
I've been with the district for about 8 months now, I believe, maybe a little bit longer.
But Michael Schreiner, I always associate that with a person who's been here a long time.
My father's been here 20 some odd years as a diesel mechanic also.
When did you know or think that, you know what, I might kind of like to get into that line of work?
You know what, in high school, from being a little boy though, you know, I was always rooming with my dad. And in high school, it was really settling in. I took auto shop and excelled in it in high school, and it started kind of dawning on me that this is something I might want to do for a living. So fresh out of the gate at 18, I went into the industry.
What are the day in and day out routines? I mean, I obviously check the oil and tire pressure, this type of thing, but what all does your work entail? What does it involve?
Here's very specific, because I've been in almost every facet of the diesel industry. But here, school buses are just held to an extremely higher standard. You know, every 3,000 miles or 45 days, every one of our buses has to be inspected. And an inspection on a school bus is extremely detailed, bumper to bumper, top to bottom. You know, everything has to have eyes and hands on it. So there was definitely a learning curve getting into here. I had a lot of experience coming in, but the mechanics here, Tom, Tim, and my dad, Mike, have showed me a great amount on buses specifically, you know, what to look for and what are common things. And then, of course, there's heavier line work, you know, actual repairs when something breaks down and has internal failure. And that's as it happens, of course, but there's preventative maintenance is always an issue.
Yeah, so it's an ongoing timetable with upkeep and maintenance. Is there any time of the year that is hardest on the vehicles, or that work is hardest for you as it gets cold, or is it when it's hot, or is it the same year?
The summer months, the heat is definitely an added element that causes some failure, you know, but for the most part, I would say across the board, there's always work to be done. There's always something wearing out on one spot or another on a bus, you know.
Mike, I know with any job that safety first comes first. Are there some aspects of it that can become a little more hazardous or dangerous than others?
I would say there's an element of danger anytime you work on any kind of an engine. You know, we take precautions to make sure everything is locked out, tagged out, inoperable starting if we're going to be anywhere near where you could get harmed. But there's obviously a risk involved with dropping heavy components or hands in tight, you know, places, confined space.
Are you like a doctor that is on call? I mean, do you have to go out sometimes if a bus breaks down?
Absolutely, yeah. There's a handful of service calls weekly. You know, there's always something going on.
Yeah, and even just out alone working roadside, I mean, with oncoming traffic is something I would think you would have to be.
Absolutely, yeah. You've got to be very cautious. You know, we always try to get. Most of our drivers are very well trained to get the bus into a safe area before they, shut down. But there's times we have to, have the bus moved to a safer location. It's just not worth the risk, you know.
I think when you talked to me on the phone, you said something about you were here like from 7 until 5?
My schedule is 8:30 to 5.
Okay, so it's well, I guess that figures out to be what, an 8-hour day, but really you're here, you're almost a 10-hour day, and so 5 days a week or
5 days a week, Monday through Friday, yeah. And we have, at this time, for the diesel mechanics, we have 2 separate shifts. We've got 2 guys that come in at 5 to 1:30, and then another 2 of us diesel guys come in at 8:30 to 5. But we cover the whole spectrum of when the buses are on the road, you know. As long as there's a bus on the highway, there's a mechanic in the shop.
yeah.
As pet lovers and guardians of our furry family members, it's crucial to stay informed about the natural cycles of wildlife that share our high desert neighborhoods and hiking areas. One such cycle that deserves our attention, especially for dog owners, is the coyote mating season. Coyote mating season typically occurs from late January through March, a period when these adaptable creatures become more visible and assertive in both rural and urban areas. This increase in activity can lead to more frequent encounters between coyotes and domestic pets, particularly dogs. Coyotes, driven by natural instincts, may view dogs as rivals or threats to their territory and potential mates, leading to potentially dangerous confrontations. To help safeguard your dog, stay vigilant on walks. During mating season, it's wise to keep your dogs on a shorter leash and stay on well-lit, populated paths, especially during dusk and dawn when coyotes are most active. Always keep an eye out for any wildlife that may cross your path. The Bureau of Land Management has awarded 2 grants totaling almost $5 million to accelerate the training and placement of excess wild horses and burros into private care. These grants are part of the BLM's efforts to encourage more adopters to give a wild horse or burro a good home. The Adoption Incentive Program provides up to $1,000 to adopt an untrained wild horse or burro from the BLM. The goal of the program is to reduce BLM's recurring costs to care for unadopted and untrained wild horses and burros, while helping to enable the BLM to confront a growing overpopulation of wild horses and burros on fragile public rangelands. Thanks to its Adoption Incentive Program and the online corral, the BLM has doubled the rate of private care placement over the last 5 years.
There's this baseball movie coming out in March called Ghost of the Game. It's directed by Daryl Warren, a former Victor Valley resident whose sons, Daryl and Tyler, were all-league basketball players at Silverado High School in the early 1990s. Many scenes were filmed in 2023 at Maverick Stadium with a number of background players, local residents.
You boys aren't thinking about the ghost of the game, are you?
Yeah, why?
Every time the black players and some of the white players try and combine the leagues.
I said he was safe. What I say goes. Hey, you heard it.
It erupts into a brawl that people get hurt.
Maybe somewhere else, but not here. I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
These excerpts from a CBS interview make the movie's theme even more timely today than when it took place 5 years ago.
How did you come up with this storyline?
In life, you see all over the news what's going on now and everything with all the craziness that's going on and all the rhetoric between people arguing and stuff like that. And you think about it, we're all together, we're all the same, and people have to, unite and be together and play together because it's part of our history. Not only do we see, how it was back then, but you look at the teams today and how it is today and everything, and everybody's playing together, but you have to know your history, where baseball started from.
It's a situation. So the past, believe your talent is not up to par with theirs. You guys are going to play 3-game series against each other. Starting with the home run contest. 3 series games. 3 against Disney and his players, 3 against Satchel and his players.
Listen up, guys. There's been a change. The old timers going to combine their team. You guys have a problem with that?
Who cares?
To really understand and everything, you get a respect of the game. We take what we have in the past, what we learned and everything, we learn from that. We continue to play together. Like I said, the story of this is we all have to play together. People are going to love it. It's for the whole family. You have a family film, so it's definitely going to be really good.
Ghost of the Game premieres March 27th, 28th, and 29th at the Skyline Drive-In Theater in Barstow. That's the week Major League Baseball's season begins. Ghost of the Game will then be shown at the Starlight Cinemas in Rancho Cucamonga at a later date to be announced. This is an appropriate time of year for us to take a virtual tour of the Mission San Juan Capistrano. Mission San Juan Capistrano was founded more than 200 years ago, established to expand the territorial boundaries of Spain and to spread Christianity to the native peoples of California. The mission features a chapel still standing and, today, is a monument to California's multicultural history, embracing its Native Americans, Spanish, Mexican, and European heritage. Originally built as a self-sufficient community by Spanish padres and Native Americans, the mission was a center for agriculture, industry, education, and religion. Mission San Juan Capistrano's oldest tradition is the ringing of the historic bells. This tradition has the ringing of the bells on designated feast days, holidays, and community celebrations, including March 19th's Feast Day of St. Joseph. The original two largest bells hang in the footprint of the bell tower of the ruins of the great stone church. On the bell wall are two replica large bells and the original two small bells, which are still rung today. The miracle of the swallows of Capistrano takes place each year on March 19th, St. Joseph's Day. Swallows migrate 6,000 miles from Goya, Argentina, to San Juan Capistrano in large groups dating back to the early 1800s. The first official celebration of the swallows' return to the mission was commemorated with a parade and fiesta on March 19, 2021. This statue of the riderless horse was erected in the mid-1990s, a memorial to the soldiers who protected the mission. An empty saddle ceremony is held at least twice a year, first in late March and again in September. The next ringing of the bells at Mission San Juan Capistrano will be July 1st, Feast Day. The Victor Valley Community Services Council is offering free homemaker services, transportation, and activities for seniors ages 60 and older with mobility challenges. Residents can join the group in its monthly shopping trips where they pick you up, take you home, and assist with lifting and carrying items. For more information or to reserve your seat on the bus, call 760-243-9646. The Victor Valley Community Services Council is offering free mobility devices. Do you know a senior in need of a mobility device? The Victor Valley Community Services Council provides free wheelchairs, walkers, bedside commodes, canes, and more to those who qualify. The agency recently received a generous donation of wheelchairs from High Desert Second Chance. For more information, please call 760-243-9646. TKOL is brought to you by We Got 'em Tees, your headquarters for custom screen printing and mastercraft embroidery design. Bid fast and last, world-class auctioneers. Valu Quality Truck Bodies, family owned and operated locally since 1954. The Bradco Companies, our area's longest-standing full-service commercial brokerage firm. Ewan Zach Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. Down Home Grill, 760-241-4663 for delivery, drive-through, pickup, or to order ahead for dine-in. And by the Holiday Inn in Victorville, conference and convention center for the High Desert, and favored destination for travelers and visitors to the Victor Valley. Terry Kurtz here, throwing out an invitation for you to catch up with High Desert Sports Activity, your High Desert Sports Report, showing 3 times every day on Victor Valley TV, 7 and 11 every morning, 4 every afternoon. We hope you'll join us right here on Victor Valley TV.
That's a wrap on this edition of Terry Kurtz Online. On behalf of Victor Valley Television Productions, thank you for watching. We hope to see you again next time around.
Until then, farewell, take care, Godspeed, and love one another.